Saline can leave parts of a field unproductive, but now there's a solution. An Arizona-based company is taking technology developed for golf courses and using it to take salts out of the soil. Here's more on how calcine improves the soil.
Calcium's kind of the bully of the soil, and so it pushes off the other nutrients off of the soil colloids.
That leaves the land unproductive and costs growers money. Land can become too saline from dry conditions, irrigation, or a number of other factors. But a product called Calcine can help solve that. Calcine works to allow the calciums and the soil properties to delineate the salts out of the soil.
To start to recover soils and to work with the soils to remove salts from the upper layers.
Tom Vanderheiden is a certified crop advisor with 40 years of experience. He was working with forage producers to increase the value of their alfalfa. One of the problems was the salts being taken up by the forages. They needed to find a way to reduce that, to make it more digestible. A few years ago, he learned about calcine. It's sprayed on land that has been left unproductive by high salt levels.
We've taken areas that haven't produced a crop in almost 20 years and starting to actually get crops to grow back in those areas. We've got a number of areas where in the last 3 years, since 2017, to where we've taken fields from no production to basically full production today.
ST Biologicals is based in Bloomington, Minnesota, and sells a number of soil improvement products. Calcine was developed about 30 years ago as a way to get salt out of wells at golf courses in Arizona. In 2014, it was starting to be used in the ag industry in Arizona to remove salt from farm fields that were being irrigated. 3 years later, it was brought to the Dakotas and northwest Minnesota for the same purpose. Calcine can be used for all unproductive soils, whether sodic or saline.
It'll work in both areas. We just have to change some processes that we work with from there. We use more beet lime in this market on the sodic soils than we do on the saline soils.
Vanderheiden says the costs vary, but he says growers can start to see a return on investment in their first crop year, not to mention a significant increase in the value of restoring unproductive land.
Now all of a sudden that value of that land is increased back up to almost a couple $1,000s or more an acre.
Gary Wagner farms in northwest Minnesota. His soil varies from heavy clay to sandy soil, and he's noticed the salts have gotten worse over the past 10 years.
Our experience is normally along roadsides, whether it be highways, putting salt on highways and that getting up in the fields, or satellite imagery. We looked at it, you can see exactly where the calcine was. We have more growth in those areas.
Wagner says so far he's impressed with calcine's effectiveness.
This is our second year now into it, and we're becoming a believer.
Near Crookston, Minnesota, this is Rose Dunn for AgWeek.
For more information on calcine, contact Jim Erickson at ECO at the phone number or email on your screen.